What is up, Motorfest racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. I'm here today with the Audi RS3. This car is awesome in Street Tier 1. I think that it's going to be right up there with the top 10 list of some of the best cars in the game for Street 1. It inspires kind of the feeling of what the Ford Focus RS does, but not quite as slidey and rowdy, and so I think a lot of people are going to be drawn to this. It's one of the new cars, so a lot of people are going to be buying it. I've got the best setup in the game, in my opinion, for it. It really works well for me. I'll show you how it does on the test bed, and I'll show you the top speed of the car with boost, so that way you can get an idea of what you're going to buy into if you pick this one up. Alright, let's dig into it. Let me show you first and foremost how to visualize with the car, different things you can do. So visual parts, there's 8 different hoods you can go from. There's a lot of different cool ones within that. And then the front bumper, there's this crazy one there where it takes the logo off, and I don't know, there's a lot you can do. You can definitely customize it. For fenders, you guys, fender option 2 of 3 takes the tires out the furthest. 3 of 3, you'll see it tucks it right back in there. So on the front, option 2 of 3. On the rear, it's option 2 of 3. It's actually 3 of 3 when you're going through the selection, but I purchased it. So guys, just make sure that you're going through and you're kind of looking to see what that tire does when you're selecting your different fender options, so you're picking the one that brings it out the furthest, because like other content creators have proven, and like I truly believe, the further those rims are pushed out from the body, the more stability the car has, and the better you can get around the track with it. And then make sure that you're also slapping yourself a vanity, set up vanity tires on there that push those wheels out even a little bit further. That's why I keep using these pure gold ones. I really like the look as well. Also, there's a couple other things that are going to be coming to the game in the vanity section. I got this cool topper. It's like a light bar. I think that's really slick. I don't know exactly when that's going to be available, but it's something that is going to be coming. I want you guys to grab that. And then there are some really neat different spoiler options for this car as well, so you can really tune it up and make it look the way you want. Let's go to the pro settings. That's why you guys are all here, so let's dig into that. Final drive all the way long. You're definitely going to want that because the top speed of this car is pretty good. It says 180 right there, but that's not true. This will do about 193 with nitro, and I think with slipstream it will be a little faster than that. So I would expect maybe 194 out of this in the grand race, which is awesome. Power distribution, we're fading it to the front, so that way you're really pulling on the front wheel drive there. So it's 52% front, 48% rear. Grip, 100% both front and rear. And then brake balance, you're also going to fade that to the front, 68% fading the brakes. And then brake power, 100%, as we always do. Load, 100% both front and rear. We want to keep the cars planted as we can, and then we stiffen it up a lot. We go 100% to the right, both front and rear, stiffen the springs. You don't necessarily have to do that. If you find that it's too stiff, you're getting the curbs and it's sliding, you can back those off. I would say spring stiffness or softness is kind of a personal preference thing. If you prefer a softer ride, there's a little more body roll, go for that, but I found the best turn in and some of my best lines were happening when we had a full stiff, so that's why I'm running it this way. Now the compression, we do soften it up in the front, so you're -7 in the front, +5 in the rear. For the rebound, it's -5 in the front, +7 in the rear. For the ARB, we're going to do a half step on the front, so it's +5 front, +10 in the rear. What that's going to allow the car to do is tip in. The front's not quite as stiff as the back. It allows the car to grip and rip. You'll see it on the test track. This car's really good. I found that braking as I turned in was working very well, and then the moment that I needed to turn sharper, I just got out of the brakes and it would hook a little more. Just neutral throttle, no input in gas or brake at all, just full steer. And then once my car was pointed, you can power out without all-wheel drive. Camber, it's -17 in the front and -025 in the rear. SakuraCommander helped me set this one up. He did a great job with it. It is damn near perfect when I got it. I made a couple of little tweaks for my own preference, but overall, it's dialed in. I think you guys are really gonna like it. So stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot more builds for the update on the channel, so subscribe if you haven't. It really does help me out. I'm trying to hit 10K before the end of the year. We'll see if we can do that this month. And then also within that, I stream this game about 3 nights a week, so check me out on Twitch, and I also stream on YouTube. So come and vibe with us, come and jump in some grand races and run with us. It's a lot of fun. Outside of that, stay tuned for the testing. I run the car on my test track, kind of compare it against a few other cars, and then I also show you what the top speed of this is under some nitro, so you can see what it really looks like in a straight line. Outside of that, I am Alex Cornnut, your wheelman. Stay tuned for the rest of the footage. We'll see you later. RS3, let's go. got a good launch with the all-wheel drive. I wish that it was geared just a little longer in the earlier gears. First and second feel kind of like a bit of a wash. I feel like first gear could pretty much cover everything that first and second does if it was longer. But who am I to complain? I mean, it might be the real shift points IRL for this car. Coming through here, staying in 6th gear, we could have maybe jumped down into 5th. It is a 7-speed, so it's going to be able to take us into one more gear above this for the top speed section, which is nice. I would say that if I had to like compare this car, this has Ford Focus RS vibes, but not as rowdy. So if you're looking for something that's maybe not quite as slidey, not hard to control as that RS is, this is going to be a good selection for you. It gets it done. What I want you guys to see there is on the brakes, I was full on braking, and then the moment that I got out of the brakes, it turned in a little sharper. So you kind of want to brake into your corners, and then once you're towards the apex, if you just get out of the brakes for a second in your neutral throttle, this thing really turns. Now we've got the suspension set pretty stiff. For that reason, it kind of bounces over the curbs. Watch that turn in again. You can kind of see when I'm braking, and then when I get out of the brakes how it turns a little sharper. I've made a mistake and I don't have my controller on screen for this footage, so if I have to redo it, I'll put it back on there. But feeling like a pretty good first lap, so we'll see what the second one brings us. With nitrous, this is going to be a car to be reckoned with because it's got the all-wheel drive, and so some of the other cars, when you hit nitrous, it just spins the wheels. You still accelerate, but you're burning the tires up, and so for that reason, you're not accelerating as hard as the car really could. This being all-wheel drive, that's really going to separate it from the rest of the pack, and so it's really got a lot of staying power in that mindset for me. I haven't been able to test it in a grand race because the test server doesn't have anybody running grand races right now, so I'm kind of limited on what I can actually, run with. But that's why I like this test track, and that's why me having as many laps as I do on this test track allows us to still be able to gather pretty good data, even though I don't have access to the key feature for multiplayer. Yeah, just dropping a gear right there allowed us to really turn in very strong. It looks really good. That front bumper is wild. Kind of bounced off the rev limiter there. That's my bad. Oh yeah, accelerating here. Okay, this is pretty good. That's going to be a 241 low end, 241.1. That's right in line with the Civic Fitted Edition, which does a 240, and then 242 is what the RX-7 and the Ford Focus RS did. So this car is right in line with those. It's pretty fast in the sense that it gets around the track just fine. Let me show you guys what it does in the top end so we can see what it does under boost. We're out here on the road. I want to show you guys what this car does under boost so that way you can have an idea of the top speed. If you're a grand racer like me, that slipstream, that top speed is super important. So we're going to grab this thing, get it up into the higher gears. It's really pretty good on the boost. It doesn't spin the tires. Alright, so we're doing about 193, 192, 193 with some nitrous. 191 is what we're staying at though. So this is a little faster than the RX-7, which is pretty meta. Top speed's really good and it has no problem holding it, and man, with it being all-wheel drive, it really just hooks up like you want it to. It's pretty fast, guys. I think that this is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with for Street Tier 1. So if you're an Audi fanboy, this is going to treat you right. And I'm very happy to showcase it. So that's what I wanted you guys to see, that boost top speed. I would say that this is going to be a serious contender for Street Tier 1, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see this materializing as more of a favored car for that particular class. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate all of you. I don't have a channel without viewers, and that makes all of you guys special to me. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.